Are we unmuted? Okay, there we go.
Hey!
Well, we're a little tired, so
happy Sunday.
Bear with us here. So
we're just taking care of some of the
little misbehavior in the chat. So apologies for that. We, when you go on a cruise, you always find riffraff, and they follow you back, maybe. So usually there are kids though, so it's.
I didn't bring my water. I'll get it. I'll get it if I need it. Happy Sunday.
Here's my word.
So happy Sunday. We haven't been live for the last 2 weeks in a row. This is right. So we questioned. Hi, Bri. It's okay. We questioned. Okay. We questioned, are we gonna go tonight? We had planned on it, but not really delayed. But it was a long trip home, and we literally walked in the door after 7 o'clock.
Yes.
7:30. 7:30 tonight. And still had to eat dinner, feed the kids, get everybody showered, and obviously not us. And
no.
And put to bed. So
I don't look as bad as I thought I did,
but I'm not. That face wasn't you. It was me, because I'm like, Brian, I really at least need a shower. My makeup bag is like, I have no makeup. This is what we look like in the airport. This is like, if nothing else, we always promise to be real with you.
Well, welcome in. If it's your first time here, I'm Brian. This is Julie.
So tired.
We're How We Cruise. We do this every Sunday, except when we're traveling or when there's kids doing stuff or whatever. But we're here to talk about cruising. And tonight it's we're just home, like we said, from the Oasis of the Seas. So yeah, are you ready? Because we're so tired.
I'm gonna say
I don't know if the filter is going to be on tonight.
We were like, we didn't have a thumbnail up. We weren't ready. We were ready, but we weren't ready. And then Brian said, we should name this our most unfiltered or our most filtered review. I'm like, I don't like that title because we don't filter anything. We're not going to filter anything tonight. So instead, I'm just going to come right out and say it. This was not our best. This was not our best trip. This was not our favorite trip.
Not every cruise can be your best cruise.
That's where I was going to go with it. That's what I was going to say. But is Oasis, which we've been on now multiple times. This was yours and the kids' 4th time. I think it was my 7th or 8th. Is Oasis still your favorite ship? We'll get into the nitty gritty. We're going to tell you guys why this isn't our favorite.
That's like asking who's your favorite child.
This is true. You can't go wrong with Oasis. Everybody knows it. Everybody knows that's how we feel. Oh yeah, that's right. I just read Shayna's comment. Brian, for those of you who watched the last few lives that we were live, was sporting the stash for a while.
Yeah.
And right before we left, he said, "Yeah, you know what? It's got to
go." Maybe that's what it was. Maybe it's the luck of the stash. Maybe we should have kept it. Maybe we should have kept it for the cruise, and maybe we wouldn't have crossed some of that. Now, it wasn't all bad luck.
I'm gonna say, I asked the question, is it still your favorite ship? It's always been one of my favorite ships. I don't know if was ever my absolute favorite ship. But I'm gonna say I still absolutely love her. This has nothing to do with the ship. I don't think so. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it.
But yeah, let's see. It's nice to see everybody here. Thank you all for coming in on such short notice. It makes me happy to know that you're getting your notifications. Julie says,
based on the comments too, because we were in the car on the way home, and he's like, why don't you post and let people know that we don't have anything up, but we're still planning on doing it as long as they want to come in. And you guys, you met us there and said, yeah, let's go.
Yeah. What do you call it? Larry says, my best cruise is always my next one, but Icon is my favorite ship. Larry, here's my problem. I came out and I said, I made it public. I dropped the hammer. I said, Oasis is my favorite ship. And then I said that right before I went on Icon. And then I'm like, well, because my assessment of Icon was I felt like Royal Caribbean sat down and said, hey guys, let's read the comment cards and fix all the stuff that people say to fix. And all the stuff that I said, I really love this ship, but I wish they would fix this, or I really love this, but I wish they'd fix that. And that's kind of what they did on Icon. So then I'm like, well, Icon has to be my favorite ship because it's my favorite ship with all the stuff they fixed. So it would be like rude to not say that Icon's my favorite ship. But then I felt bad for Oasis because I already told Oasis she was my favorite ship. So like
you know they don't have like actual feelings, right?
Yes, they do. Every ship has its own personality. Tell me in the chat if you agree with me. Every ship has its own personality and is actually a living, breathing thing.
But God, look at my hair. Oh my goodness.
Each ship is a living, breathing thing.
And it was so muggy and hot. Oh my gosh. Well, we got out of the Fort Lauderdale today, and we're waiting for the Uber. Just another thing.
Hold on a second. Daniel Fields, we just got a free coupon in the mail for Icon and the Star. Wait, hold on. Fancy, man. So to go on the cruise, right? To go on the cruise was free, or the coupon itself was free? Because I got one of those too, where they said, "Hey, here's a free card with a picture of Icon of the Seas on it."
I'm gonna.
That says Team Brian. They're living, breathing creatures. So that's why they called she.
Minus the crazy hair.
Because they're all crazy.
What do you guys think? This is not a joke, but these are not real. I mean, so here's the deal with these things, because I had to sport these almost. I can't read without something anymore. And I brought like regular readers, and then these I sometimes like if I'm just like alone, like in my room, because they were just the right shape to like be able, because I don't need them for far. So like the first day I lost my glasses, and like these were all I had left. So like I'd be in the main dining room wearing these. So these were on my head. So like this was like a week, and they're still up here.
You slept like that.
Well, most nights I do fall because they're just Dollar Tree readers. I mean, but they were all I had with me on the cruise.
Hi, Michelle. Thank you for coming in. Daniel says it's a free coupon for a free sailing. Obviously, I have to pay tax and fees. All right, yeah, we'll tell you what dates we'll be on, so you can come with us. It'll be fun. Yeah. So.
Oh, Michelle's and hi, Michelle.
Dude, this ship. I mean, she showed her personality this week.
The ship?
Oh yes, she did. She's like, "Oh, you want to flush toilets? I don't think so." No. Oh, you want hot water? Nah.
No, everything got fixed right
away. No, it can be hot now. No, not now.
We didn't experience. The only thing we experienced was a couple of hours with the water turned off, because I think they were fixing it. Our toilet always flushed every single time, so we didn't have that issue. But she has been having a couple of those.
As I've gotten older, I've had problems with my plumbing too. So it happens.
Let's keep it clean.
I did.
See what I did there?
Yeah.
I got dad jokes too.
Oh. Michelle says, "Are we planning the inaugural on Star?"
I mean,
well, I think
we'll just have to wait and see.
Royal Caribbean's planning it. We're waiting for our invite, I
think. So let's talk about the trip.
Actually, no. To inaugural of Star, the kids will be in school, so we will not be on the inaugural of Star. There are a few. They did change the dates of some of the previous.
Well, there's
sailings,
2 new inaugural sailings. So now it's a 3 inaugural sailing event. But then there's also pre-sailings and everything like that.
Nothing's off the table.
I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But this was Oasis. The trip we got back today. Mm-hmm. It was an 8-night sailing to Aruba, Curacao, and of course Coco Cay. So we had the first 2 days at sea.
Well, a little background. So it was us and some family and friends who all sprung this trip on the kids. It was a little bit of a shocker, a little bit of a
it wasn't really. It wasn't like it wasn't really known by many. Only a few family and friends that knew about it, and then of course the ones that were going.
Yeah.
So it wasn't a group cruise or anything. Nobody missed out.
You didn't miss anything. This was not.
And I'm gonna say you're gonna be seeing some content. We definitely have some videos coming out. We'll talk more about that. What we did film, but we really did take this one a little bit slower. Much more of a vacation-y kind of thing, and we have a lot of vlog out there with Oasis and a lot of things that we think and feel about her.
Well, I even said to Julia,
we have interesting new content that we have.
Well, I said to you at one point, I said I was walking around, and what did I say? I noticed at one point, I'm like, oh, I'd never even seen that there before, because usually I got
we were walking through Central Park, and he's like, huh. He's like, I don't see it from this angle. I always watch it through the lens. And I said, see, I told you sometimes I put down the camera. No, but really, so 8 nights. The first 2 days were at sea, then Aruba. The very next day, Carousel, and then 2 more days at sea, and then the very last day was Coco Cay, and then back to port, which is kind of a weird itinerary for us because to have those 2 sea days and then Coco Cay and then the next morning. But it was nice. I liked it. I like 8 days. I'm always ready to go home at 8 days. I feel like 7 days, I want to stay another day. Like, I feel like I'm not quite ready. Like, it was a great trip. Oh, I have to get ready so soon because you lose it the 7th day. You're still worried about packing and getting things ready and making sure you're ready for the next day. But on an 8 day, especially with in Port de Osse, I found it really nice because I feel like I'm ready to go home. I'm like, okay, ready to pack up. We might have been ready to go home earlier on this trip, and it had nothing to do with the plumbing. Okay.
See, it's funny you say that, how much you liked an 8 day, because I remember what I said. Because I actually said at one point, I'm like, I'm starting to see the draw of short cruises. Because
you did say that.
I was like, you know what? I'm done with you people being in this room of all 5 of us in one room for so long, and yeah, I was ready to go.
I mean, yeah. So
Kevin says he wants to see content of just me going on full tilt on a rant. Maybe I should start like another channel. What grinds my cruising gears or something like that.
I like it.
Where I just
stay tuned.
Rant on ships.
It started off really good. So we went with some friends and some family. The kids had a ball because they all had each other. The kids had their niece and their nephew and another a friend and her little sister from school. So we had 7 kids and 6 adults. They outnumbered us. But the kids love each other, get along all super well. They're all the same age. Brian's the only oldest one, but he's old enough for teen club now and everything. It was great.
That was unique this trip. This is his first time. I mean, we've given Brian quite some freedom on the ships, and he's goes around and explores, but this was the first time that he kind of really just embraced it and tried to meet some friends and took off and spent some time in the club or the teen club, not the club, the teen club. Don't think we did hear that Brian did meet some lady friends, but I don't think he was actually in the club.
Anyway, I think our very first with this whole trip, our very first kind of hiccup happened even 2 months before we left. We had some complications with with the sea passes and the names and the whatever, but they really stepped up to do absolutely everything that they could do. And when I say they did everything they could do, so we worked through that. That wasn't a big deal, but that was a little bit of a hiccup.
It wasn't. I mean, I'll say it was a big deal. I mean, we identified an issue with our reservation. This is not a negative. But we identified an issue with our reservation way back in.
It was early December. Early November.
Early December.
I'm sorry, late November. Yeah, very late.
And we worked on it with Royal Caribbean up till boarding.
Who was wonderful. This isn't a negative.
It was a computer issue. It was an IT issue.
Here's the thing. These things happen.
It does.
So
happen.
when you work your best through them and work together and whatever. So there's nothing negative to say about that other than I'm glad that they're fixing this thing that came up. But it was just an issue between Brian and it had not. I don't.
It was personal against me.
I don't want to say everybody's gonna be like, oh, it has to do with the names, and that may be an issue, but it's never been an issue for us before. It wasn't an issue for even my brother, who also has seen it. So it's never been an issue before. I don't think that's what it was, even if it played a part or a component.
But I mean, it caused some mix up with our cards. It caused some mix up with the kids with
Brian was supposed to have some arcade credit. You weren't able to utilize your card the right way. It didn't even. Yeah. So, but
guys, let's be clear.
They fixed it.
I got on the ship. I got a drink. They said, you don't have a drink package. I said, oh.
Yes, I do.
How would you react? I want to know. Tell me in the comments. if you got on the ship after buying your drink package
and paid for it, it's all paid for. It's done
with a receipt, and they told you, no, sorry, you don't have a drink package. I think I handled myself very well.
You did.
I did.
And we did too. But it started off pretty good. Other than that was the first like whatever, and then we had our first boarding was good. I'm trying to remember because we got there 2 days early, so we spent the first day. We were in Fort Lauderdale. So what are you gonna do when you get? We're
gonna play in the hotel.
What do you do? Oh gosh, the hotel. Okay, so maybe it's just. I think it is just a trip thing. Mm-hmm. We're in the hotel, and in Fort Lauderdale, in Miami, we like to go to Bayside. Fort Lauderdale, we had a couple options. We almost went down to the Hard Rock Casino, but we decided we had the kids with us and whatever, so we could only do so much if we went there. We decided to go down to Las Olas, A1A, Beach Place is down there, but also like it's a strip on A1A. Fort Lauderdale Beach is there, and then there's restaurants and shops and whatever. And we walked around and had a great time. The kids had fun. They were playing football on the beach. So that's a good thing to do if you're going down to Fort Lauderdale and you're looking for something to do the day before, the night before, or in the morning of the.
We went to Hooters.
We did go to Hooters. Morning of the hotel or boarding day. Everybody's getting ready. We're telling everybody to get ready. I'm like, Mom's like, okay, I'll take the last shower. I literally go, everybody. We have like maybe a half an hour left to like get downstairs and be ready to go. I go to get in the shower, open the door, and the whole power goes out. Not in the whole hotel.
Just our bathroom.
In the bathroom. And I'm like,
a bathroom with no window.
Now, I mean, the water works, but there's no light. You close the door, it's no light. Family of 5 with, I can't even leave the door open with 3 kids. And I'm like, ugh. So we call maintenance.
Hi, Nancy.
Yeah. Anyway, I didn't take a shower boarding day, at least until I got on the ship later that night. But it was like morning, and I'm like, okay. So.
That's right, Michelle.
That started it off.
Beachfront Avenue. Yeah.
So that started it off. Then we get on the ship, and it's home. We love Oasis. I mean, it's home.
Yes, everything's broken, just like our home.
Sail away? What? I'm trying to think.
We didn't sail away.
This is what happens when you take 8 days. It's hard to remember reading.
We waited for sail away. Sail away was supposed to be 4, and it was not 4. Then it was supposed to be 5. And it was not 5.
That's why I can't remember it.
There was some.
Oh yeah, the kids all went in the hot tub, and we were up on the deck.
We were
talking to Paul and Kim and a bunch of other people. So yeah, good time. I mean, it was a great day. We went to dinner.
We met up with some people from the Facebook group for the sailing. That was nice.
Our dining reservations were a little funky. We were all supposed to be sitting together, and
we're not.
But
they fixed it.
They fixed it. Yeah, because actually of all of us, one of the families was put at the early seating, and we were supposed to all have the late seating. So we had to move them. But they took care of that. And then then day 2 is a sea day. We spent the day out at the pool. Had a great time. The kids.
I love my sea days.
We're loving their milkshakes. They were going on Johnny Rockets like crazy for milkshakes. Playing pool at Playmakers. They love playing. Oh my God, the kids just rule Playmakers. We made this incredible crew. Rainin was fantastic.
Well, and you know what we did, and credit to your brother for setting that up. But what we did, we redid what we did back on. So if you guys were with us on the Freedom of the Seas group cruise,
well, we didn't. He did.
If you were with us on the Freedom of the Seas group cruise in November, you remember we rented out the owner's box down in Playmakers for one of the football games. So not sure where your brother got the idea to do it this time, but I mean, it was a great idea, I thought. And he
said he called me. He's like, hey, you did that, right? How'd you do that? How do I do that? And I let him know how to do that. So tips and tricks like that, we can get you.
So he got the owner's box for that, and we had our dedicated server, our big screen TV, and all the people trying to come in.
What game was that we watched? It was the Challengers and the.
Oh, why? Yeah,
guys, I'm sorry.
Washington and Philly. Washington.
Yeah, the Eagles game. So it was a big game. Obviously, it was the first of the two. But sorry, guys,
we had the earlier game.
I like football. I like to watch it. I just don't follow the stats and who's and what's and whatever. I just like the game. But they were playing it in the Aqua Theater, so the place is packed, and even playmakers were packed. Everybody's watching this game. So it was really cool to have the owner's box. And on Oasis, the owner's box opens up like into Playmaker. So it was really cool that we had that section, but also we had the vibe and the fun, and we were talking to all the other people in the room because they were like there with us.
Kids were playing the video games and the shuffleboard and the pool.
And we had the people sitting behind, like we were talking to, making friends. Cool. It was a lot of fun. That was great. That was good. So that was day 2 or 3 or whatever. And then yeah. So
and then
so well, Aruba
Aruba was an adventure.
Aruba was the next day.
It's really not fun.
Aruba's beautiful. We've been to Aruba before and love it. We like to go to Eagle Beach. That's where we went. We didn't stay as long as we thought we would.
No. The kids were a little under the weather, and
everybody just started to kind of melt.
Yes.
And not feel good. So we had.
So in the best interests of their swim shorts, we brought them back.
We came back and just kind of chilled in
yes.
In the
so
cabin. We chilled in the cabin.
And then as with any stomach thing, we all took our turn taking a day off.
Yeah. I mean, wasn't that? It could have been worse. It definitely could have been worse. But there was stuff going around the ship, and although we heard that some people really kind of got sick,
we were lucky.
We were really, really lucky. So, it is what it is. We lost the day in Carousel. Mm-hmm. We didn't get off the ship. We didn't get out of the room. We just kind of hung out.
Well, yeah.
So we have no Carousel footage this time, and I really wanted to bring that to you because that's one of my favorite places to go. So that's different. And then what else? Then we had 2 more sea days, and everybody's like looking bright and chipper.
Rebounded. I mean,
everybody's bright and chipper. Everything's really good. Yep, everybody's doing great. And we had 2 pretty good sea days. Anything interesting or out of the ordinary? No, I think just regular stuff. We did not see one show. We didn't even see the Aqua show, which is our favorite.
We saw it from the boardwalk. This time we had a boardwalk balcony. Balcony for 5 is a little tough.
Well, that's what I was going to go to. But first I want to talk about Coco Cay. So we get through that dinner, and then we can talk about the cabin.
Okay.
So then the last day we had Coco Cay. Coco Cay was a perfect day. I have to say, the balloon was up. It wasn't really windy. We never had a cloud roll through. There was sometimes you get like a little spritz of like a rain shower or something. None of that. Crystal blue, like clear blue skies. We went to our favorite spot in between the beach and Oasis Lagoon. Now there's the Hideaway, so it has thinned out Oasis Lagoon a little bit.
It definitely killed the vibe of Oasis Lagoon.
Because there's no DJ, but there's no music.
There's music still, but like the vibe, if you want like that party vibe, that party vibe is now over at Hideaway. Yeah. Which I mean, I guess that's appropriate, kind of, but like our kids like that kind of stuff. So I mean, it's kind of unfortunate, but like I mean, it still worked out. Kids still had a blast. They were running back and forth between the beach and the pool. No, you were mentioning the sea days in between. Daniel says, and I'm sorry guys, I'm not reading as many comments as I usually do, but we're looking forward to our ABC at the beginning of March. It's good to hear how it went for you guys. So yeah, the ABC. So Julie made a point that we left Fort Lauderdale on Saturday, and it was cold. Like it was cold. Like I'm used to leaving on a cruise. I'm used to leaving on a cruise in the cold because we usually leave from New Jersey. So it wasn't like weird to me, other than the fact that we were in Florida and it's not supposed to be cold.
We were in sweatshirts and jeans and cold, and that's why we were in the hot tub on sail away day.
But then, so Daniel, to get down to the ABC Islands, it's not exactly close. It's not like you're going to Nassau. Like you're shooting all the way across the Caribbean Sea and basically hitting Venezuela and putting it in reverse for a couple miles. So they got to move. They got to go at a pretty good clip. And the wind on board on those first 2 sea days, I mean,
it was so super windy.
Everything was blowing everywhere.
Really windy.
If you've been on Oasis, the solarium's at the front of the ship, and in front of the solarium, there's actually an observation deck there.
It's really cool.
A bunch of chairs out there, and we went to see one of our good friends, Alex, at the bar, and all the chairs were like tied down.
Alex has been on Oasis every time that I've ever been on. Yeah. We saw him right away too. It was like, Alex. He's like, you guys are here. But we did. This is the second. So this wasn't we didn't do Bonaire this one, but we did do Aruba, Bonaire, and Curacao, the ABC Islands on Celebration on Carnival Celebration. So, and that was really, really fun and beautiful. So, we absolutely love those islands. I love that itinerary. I just love that itinerary. I love Coco Cay, so it was kind of cool, but I still missed Bonaire. And well, I think it made it worse because we missed Curacao.
I tell you what, though. I mean, of those three, all right, I want to know, before I say it, because I've already said my favorite ship. This was an ABC cruise. Well, it was an AC cruise. But ABC Islands, since Daniel brought it up, which is your favorite of the ABC Islands? Is it Aruba? Is it Bonaire? Is it Curacao? Because
would you give one of them up to go to
another private destination?
Would you give up one of your favorite? You know what? Okay, you asked that question because then I have a really good question that's kind of similar because I was going to relate it to ABC, but I'll just make it your favorite island. So your question is, do you have a favorite? Aruba, Bonaire, Curacao?
They said she's only been to Aruba.
Everybody makes fun of how I say Curacao. Sorry, guys.
But I tell you, like I
finished my water, so now I'm going to have my.
Of the three, Foodie's Vacation says Curacao. I think that's what you would say.
I think so.
Shanna says we haven't been to any yet. Well, let's get that on your list there.
Well, Shanna. And I don't know if Heather's in here tonight, but I know that Heather's like, come on, Julie, let's go. Because that's definitely in the works for what we can do when we can do it as a
So for me, I have to say Bonaire is my favorite of the three.
Yeah.
But I say that based on what we've done in those ports.
I know.
And Bonaire is a place where if you're a scuba diver or a snorkeler, the options of where to go and the number of snorkel boats and scuba boats that are available and trips that you can do, the number of dives that you can do, you can go out to the Klein. There's multiple reefs. All the boats in the area know the reefs. We went to a reef and we were one of the only boats there.
Yeah, it was
plenty
beautiful.
Of fish, plenty of space.
And it was right, yeah. Oh,
it was definitely. Will G says I've only been to AB, kind of lean towards Bonaire. Mike says they'll be there first week. Good day, Sean. How are you? Let's see.
Alice
hasn't been to. Alice, you have? I thought you had. But anyway, no, it's definitely a cruise that. Listen, it doesn't have to be a bucket list cruise. A lot of them are 8-day versus 7, just because it takes a little bit to get down there. You want a 7-day ABC, you might have to leave from San Juan. But I mean, an 8-day, I'm willing to do 8 days to get all ABCs. That's how I feel about it. I would trade the private destination.
My question is, if you have a favorite port, whatever it is, would you trade your, as part of the itinerary, your favorite port, be it Aruba, Bonaire, Curacao, St. Thomas, Cozumel, wherever it may be? I'm talking Caribbean right now. Would you trade your favorite port to hit either Coco Cay, the upcoming Celebration Key? I'll put that one over Half Moon Key, or Great Stirrup Key.
Hey, they were doing some construction on Great Stirrup Key.
We'll talk about that. Hold on, don't interrupt my question. Would you trade one of your favorite ports to go to the private destinations, or would you rather just keep the itinerary? Because like when you do Aruba, Bonaire, Curacao, with Carnival, you don't hit any other private islands. I was surprised that we were able to hit Coco Cay with this one.
We left out Bonaire.
Yeah. So anyway, I don't know. Would you? I would, but I love all three of those islands so much. I'm thinking that itinerary. But I would definitely not want to miss my favorite port just to go to a private destination. I don't think.
See, I love the private destinations, and I see what the cruise lines are doing now, especially Carnival's doing it with Celebration Key, Royal's doing it with the short sailings like Utopia on Coco Cay, and and just kind of gave you a little teaser there, but to see all the construction happening at Great Stirrup Key, right? No.
Great Stirrup Key is
I keep wanting to say Harvest Key, but that's Norwegian's island over in Roatan. But Foodie says, I love sea days. I'm a ship girl. Now
I love sea days too.
Listen, I said that to you the other day too. I could do I could back it off. I could do a cruise where I didn't get off the ship.
This is something that wasn't a kick count. This is something that bothered you on this ship, because our kids, and I was I wasn't surprised that they said this, but they were not the fish that they usually are on this ship. No, they know Oasis really well. They know how to navigate it really well. They've been on her before. And the boys wanted to be in Playmakers. They wanted to be playing the pool. They wanted to do the dry stuff. Katie made her question in our board one day, what do you prefer in a sea day, dry stuff or wet stuff? And was like, she was praying that everybody would be dry. They want to do the dry slide. They want to do the zip line.
I would have loved to have known the answer to that question, but we couldn't find out.
Oh, keep changing the subject on me.
I'm just going with it.
Anyway, our kids wanted to do dry stuff like the whole time. Like they wanted to keep running around and doing whatever, which I love, because I'll do both. But they wanted to do it so much that I think Brian was like, he wanted his pool days and he wanted to do his pool time. I'm like, yeah, So we definitely did both. And I mean, they still, as soon as they got in the pool with the friends, that's what they wanted to do: water slides and splash pads.
I did get dizzy on the water
slides. But the comment with the wakeboards, that's something else that did happen to us on this cruise. Normally, we don't have any problem with anybody taking anything from our doors. Our door decorations stay pretty good. Nobody's written anything too horrible or anything that we didn't catch pretty quick on our whiteboard. People do silly stuff.
We've seen it in the Facebook groups where people are like, they stole my door decorations. And
so it started with them just moving our markers down a couple doors here and there. But then by the end, like they because we have a bunch, and sometimes we put out multiple colors, and sometimes we only put out one or two, and we had to start taking them in. But by the end, like we lost like 5 of the 6 of our markers. Like they would just take. I don't know where they are. I mean, I don't know if they were kept just moving them from doors to floors to whatever. But they stole our markers. That stinks, guys. And I don't think it was. The kids were remarkably well, and not our. I mean, our kids. Everything I saw they were, so hopefully if you have word that they weren't, I want to know. And we were with them almost all the time, unless Bri was in teen club and whatever. But why are you stealing markers? What? And Katie loves her little questions, and like she's so upset. She's like, oh, nobody can answer my question.
Yeah. It was unfortunate because the first time the markers disappeared, Katie went running up and down the halls and she found them. And then it went a little further, and then, it was just...
I'm like, what's with the ones?
No, Daniel said...
I know, now I see it, so I'm... I lost my glass. Let's recap. I lost my glasses on this cruise. The power went out in the hotel. We ended up with a little bit of under the weather kind of feeling. Definitely our carousel day. And then they stole our markers. We didn't even get to the flight home yet.
They screwed up our dining, which they fixed. But I will say,
and we had an issue with the cards. Just lots of little things that just all add up.
I did get into a fight with the jeweler too. Well, not a fight.
Oh yeah, but
there was a disagreement.
You don't need to tell that story, but yeah. So you
Well, and you know what though? I'll tell you what, we did observe um, a little bit of poor behavior in the main dining room, and we made sure that we stood up for our. We made sure we stood up for our waiter and our assistant waiter, who, things happen. And,
okay, so what would you do? Now we were a table of 8. I'm sorry, not 8. The 6 adults and the 7 kids. They put us at one long table. It was really nice. I know, that's why I laughed when I said 8. Like, I don't know what I was thinking. Like, I know, whatever. So it's been a long day of travel, people. It's been a long day. So we were at our table, and there was actually another 4-top at the end of that. Like, there was a gap in them. That was a nice, very nice family who everybody laughed at me the day that I came to dinner late because I don't know, was I helping one of the kids? Was I taking care of something at the desk or something?
Somebody was always not at the.
I don't know.
How kids must have gone to the bathroom like 45 times each dinner.
I think that Katie just wanted to get up to walk.
I don't know.
Anyway, I can't find anybody. Like, I literally walked the whole dining room because I didn't remember our table number, and it was different from the one on our card. And I walked right past our table. Everybody lets me walk by. They're like, where's she going?
I assumed you were going to talk to somebody. I'm like, oh, Julie's being
I'm literally looking for them.
I guess I should have known better.
I don't know how I didn't see you guys. And so anyway, they were a very nice couple. So every time after that, she'd be like, is this your table? What would you do at the table next to you if a server just bumped, and this is cleaning up a plate, and bumped into you and knocked a plate with some things on it? Nothing. It wasn't like a thing of soup. It wasn't a steak. It was the leftover whatever plate that kind of tilted. She tripped on the chair. I mean, I felt so bad for her, but she kind of tripped, and right, because my back was to it.
Yeah. So long story short.
But what would you do if that happened to you? If a server bumped into you and something got spilled on you? I mean, it wasn't hot soup. We're not talking McDonald's hot coffee here. We're not talking like, oh my God, I gotta go change. There was none of that. But it happened. I mean, how do you react? What would you say? What kind of attention would you bring to it? I'm curious. Before we say what happened, let's see what people think.
So, to finish, so while you're commenting on
Daniel, I lost my glasses on this cruise too. I know. Sucks.
So while you guys are answering that, we'll answer Amanda's question. Amanda says, what do you guys like for dining time? We chose 5 p.m. last February when we booked, so hoping we picked a good time. So you're going to get different answers from Julia and I, probably. So we have always traditionally done the early dining with the kids.
We normally both really like it.
And usually our reasoning behind that is we like to go get to dinner. So after dinner, we can get to a show or get a spot at a lounge where we want to go see something, or move on with the rest of our night.
Yeah.
This cruise, we did the later seating, and we had 7:30, which was getting us out of the dining room pretty much because we have a pretty large group. It was around 9 each night we were getting out of the dining room. So hour and a half.
But that's always the case. It's always an hour and a half to 2 hours, especially with a big group. So you still like the early.
I stand by the early.
Okay. In recent cruises, I love early dining, whether it's just the two of us or with the kids. But in recent sailings, when traveling with the kids our age, I have started to gravitate towards the later seating, especially on a ship like this where we have seen the shows and we don't need to get to that show. But although there's a lot of things that time, like other things too, like Katie wanted to do karaoke, and there's other things going on they want to do. But as the kids get older, we don't want to rush the day to go in, because if you go in, especially with a larger family, to try to get ready for an early dinner, I mean, it really cuts into whether you're in port, making sure you're back to the ship, or if you are out of the pool enjoying, or out on the deck enjoying any kind of outside activity, you have to go in by like 3:30 to start getting ready. Cuts into your day. And we like to start extending that day out. The kids are still having fun. They're running around. and you know, they're able to stay up later. It's not like they're not melting by 7 o'clock. So to go to the 7:15 dinner instead of, and I'm not talking like 8 or 8:30 dinner. I'm talking 7:15.
6. We split the difference.
I would love, but you know, I don't know. So maybe we'll start leaning more towards the my time dining, and we'll pick a time.
The reason we've always gravitated against my time dining is all of the cruise lines have told us that when you have my time dining and you travel with large groups, it can be difficult for you to get the same table or.
Well, that's at a group cruise.
I understand.
We're not talking group cruises. Let's just talk about us personally.
I know, but most of our trips have big group cruises.
Yeah, but we're not talking about groups right now. This isn't a group question. This is an us question.
So looks like, let's go back to your comments. Looks like a lot of people were saying they would just kind of shake it off. Foodie said they did have a significant catastrophe though, where they got a lot of a drink and wine spilt on them.
Oh, I haven't. Remind me to tell the other story after this. Okay.
But so what happened on this cruise was something spilled, and the reaction of the people that it got spilled on was immediately jumping up and demanding that their clothes be cleaned and who was going to pay for it. And I can
just
understand.
Jumped right up, and then he said, "I'm not joking." Like, I mean, he was like angry. He was mean. He's yelling. Made a scene in the entire restaurant. And the poor she was our server and their server. Mm-hmm. She handled it with, she felt horrible. She handled it with such grace.
She apologized. I mean, she was
what is she going to do? I mean, and embarrassed. I mean, you know, that's her job. And but nobody ever wants that to happen. They were especially
they were looking to make a complaint and all this. So I made sure that I found the head waiter that evening.
You did go back later and just say, "Hey, listen,
listen, I saw the whole thing. She didn't do anything intentionally. Honestly, I'm pretty sure that the guy moved in some way, shape, or form."
It's not fault. I mean, just the sheer thing that it happened. I would have handled it differently. So I'm going to turn the story around because it's just, I didn't even think about it until right now when you said, "Oh, it's not like that, whatever." On our last cruise, if you were there, you probably saw it. Freedom to Journey. Our journey to freedom on Freedom of the Seas. We were in the pub, and we were it was Darla Fox was playing. We were having such a great time.
Oh.
And Brian.
I blocked that out of my mind.
Okay, well, I didn't. I can't. Brian requested that she play, unbeknownst to me, our wedding song.
Oh wait, this is a different story than I thought you were going to tell.
Oh yeah, you probably didn't even realize. I'm like horrified.
No,
I haven't told this story. I mean, you were there. I think he requests the song, and then she goes to play it, and of course he came over and he asked me to dance with him in the pub. So sweet, right? Very romantic. Thank you, honey. I love you. Now, first of all, I'm a horrible dancer. So to get up and dance with other people, I'm always very self-conscious, right?
Good for the vlog.
Well, of course. And I always dance with you whenever you ask. Almost always, unless there's a serious reason that I can't.
Yes, both times.
No, you do that a lot. So anyway, the server had just come over and given me my drink, and I'm sitting at a high top bar that's in front of other tables. And Brian comes over, the server comes over. I'm kind of startled and
surprised I was doing something nice.
I bump elbows. The server puts it down. I knock the drink over. And it had nothing to do. It was not. I mean, this wasn't like, oh, the drunk lady just did it. No, I'm sorry. I was startled. Brian comes over. He's like, "Come dance with me." The song's playing, and the server's there. And my drink's there, and I go, psh, and it pours down the back of the gentleman sitting in front of me. Full, untouched drink pours down his back, and I'm horrified. I'm like,
guy smelled like olives for like.
And maybe you didn't realize.
I didn't realize
because he still pulled me to dance.
Yeah,
and I'm like,
I didn't.
How do I go dance? I just poured a drink all over this guy. I'm humiliated. Like the server's like,
I didn't realize that's.
I'll get you. I'm like, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. I'm like, get this gentleman whatever he wants. Put it on my bill. I don't care what it costs. And Brian's like, come dance. Now in the vlog, you'll see me and Brian at the end. And this is the one where you screwed up the audio. So there's no audio. You can't even hear the song. Fun fact, I'm not even going to tell you the song. So here we are. And we're out there dancing. And I'm like looking over like, and the guy was like, he was such a gentleman about it. And he was like, he realized what happened, I think, and was such a gentleman. And he was like, no, don't worry about it. I mean, how can you not be a little annoyed, right? Like, or a lot annoyed, but he was so nice. He's like, it's okay. No. And he actually wouldn't even I did tell them to put their next round on ours. Yeah. But like, he was so kind. So thank you, sir, if you ever see this. I am so sorry. And we continued the dance, and I still have not shaken that memory for life of me. But I think how you react to things like that impacts the mood and the definitely. I think I no matter what will feel really bad about that event, and I will remember it for all of my days, I promise you. But I remember it differently because the gentleman was so kind. Yes. And I guarantee that our server will always have a memory in her mind of a gentleman jumping up and just being irate when she did something completely accidentally. So be kind, people. Be kind.
So I need to interrupt because we do need to take care of something.
PSA of the day. Okay.
We do need to take care of something right now. Okay. We need everyone to congratulate the Suggs family here on Jason's daughter's wedding. So everyone, congratulations to Jason.
I saw the pictures on Facebook. Dancing.
So nice, very nice.
Oh, very nice. Beautiful
nice.
bride.
So congratulations to them. Wishing them all the best and all the happiness and all that. And do they have their?
Bride gets all worked up as soon as
I do. Well, because I'm thinking about the fact that they're probably going to book a cruise as a honeymoon. That's what I think.
That's not why you're getting teary. He's very emotional, people. Because we talked about dancing to our wedding song, and now you're talking about other people getting married.
It's very sweet. No, it was great. So, but yeah, so that was that trip, and I mean there were a few shining points.
Oh, a lot.
I gotta say one more thing.
For every negative, there's two positives.
One more thing,
if not more.
We always suggest you join the Facebook group for your sailing, right? Mm-hmm. And we were following this one, and props to the admins of the group for that one because they were busy. Because man, was there a lot of complaining in that group?
Lots of complaints.
A lot of complaining, and you know what?
Lots of negative Nellies.
I we would combat every negative spot that we saw where we thought it was warranted, and I got to give props to not only the pub singer but also the Schooner Bar piano player. John Lackey, who did a great job this week. He took a little heat and he did a fantastic job.
Yeah, he really did.
So, John, you did a great job. You did fantastic, and enjoy your vacation.
We had a lot of fun.
If you get an opportunity to catch John Lackey on a ship somewhere, go make sure you do that. So he was great. So, that's fun. It was kind of two together, but no, that was good. So, I mean, overall, was it our best cruise?
Not our best cruise. I wouldn't have had it any other way. We made such amazing memories. Mm-hmm. Definitely memories for a lifetime. Just like our flight home today, not bad. I mean, we made it to there. The Uber driver was a bit of a. I mean, it was fine. We got there. We had plenty of time. We had a nice little setup, a nice little spot. Kids were able to get food. And then like it took us. We sat. I'm trying to think about takeoff itself.
It wasn't bad.
I feel like takeoff was fine. I don't think we waited too long to taxi out. Then we go to get off, and then we're waiting forever to taxi. After we landed, forever to taxi to the gate. It was at least another 10 to 15 minutes once we landed before we got to the gate. And then we hear over the announcement, can everybody please stay in their seats? We need medical to come on to the plane. So everybody had to sit, and somebody was escorted off our plane, medical, and we have no idea why. So great. Now we have some crazy virus that was probably going around our plane. I don't know.
Going around the ship, going around the plane.
So we finally got on plane. We landed at 4:55. We landed at 4:55. We didn't get to our vehicle, which was at the airport. Oh, because then the the baggage took forever. We didn't get to our vehicle until 6:30. 4:55 we landed. We didn't get to our vehicle at the airport until 6:30. So a solid more than an hour and a half. And then that's why we have thought we had a lot more time before this in the live stream. And then we're driving home and unexpected like snow and ice come.
Yeah. But hey, we did do some things right on this cruise. We did do some things right.
Sure.
So normally we forget our pictures. Yes. We got our pictures.
You guys like the thumbnail? So that's our Kevin picture.
Normally there's something wrong with our bill that we have to take care of. This time, I mean, there was some
every towel was accounted for.
Yeah, all the towels are accounted for. We made sure we turned them all in the night before.
There was a couple little, but it was no issues when your card was iffy in the beginning. But
But usually there's some kind of charge somewhere that we got to say, hey, wait a minute, this wasn't us. Foodies, I want to see the photos. Well, foodies, they're going to all be in.
If we had more time, group. I was going to have Brian pull some of them up, and he hates when I show my phone.
Well,
so we won't do that.
You know, we'll get them ready for next week.
We'll have them ready for next week, and maybe we'll give you some teasers in Instagram. And if you're not already following us, check us on Instagram, and definitely in our community group. And a hint is our thumbnail is one of them.
I do want to cycle it back around to one of the first comments of the night, though.
Okay.
Because, we were talking about, this is not our best cruise, whatever. And Larry started off the comments by saying, my best cruise is my next cruise.
Oh,
and right now, that's in 160 days, unless something changes. There is a chance. There's actually a pretty good chance that that's going to be different.
Oh. Okay.
There's a very good chance that that's going to be different. But
I don't know.
If you haven't yet, Carnival Sunrise.
I'm getting more. The closer this gets, the more excited I'm getting.
Join us. Join Sharon at Sea. We're going to be on the Carnival Sunrise from July 12th through the 17th of 2025.
Sharon, Jamie, we're going to chat.
Lots are going to be fun group events, stuff for kids, stuff for families, stuff for
Good night, Will G.
Good night, Will. Stuff for everybody. So this is definitely one. Bring the grandparents, bring the friends, bring the family, bring everybody. And then after that, we'll be back in New Jersey, actually New York, in November, leaving on the MST Meraviglia from November 2nd through 9th. I
can't wait for that one for so many reasons.
And we'll be getting some content of that ship for you very soon, because we'll be going on a preview of that ship very soon.
Yes, it's a great ship. Awesome itinerary. I mean, I know it's a lot of that New York same itinerary, but I can't wait to see Ocean Key. And it's going to be really fun.
Amanda says, come on Symphony May 16th. Amanda, when I say that our countdown might not be 160, it may involve May 16th, but I don't think it's going to involve Symphony.
We'll see. I don't know. We'll see.
I don't know. So,
but here,
we'll see.
Okay. Are you good with your whatevers?
Yeah, I've shown all my slides. You've shown
all your cards, huh?
Hold on, I could do this.
Oh yeah, remember the night that Brian lost his cards?
Oh my gosh, I could do this. I felt
so bad for him. He locked himself out of the room, and then he couldn't get to us for a minute. But
that was But you know what?
He handled it like awesome.
He did. Because you know what, the last thing I said we did take care of everything, and the other thing we took care of is we made sure we got our next cruise certificates.
Yeah, we did that
because
it seems like we might actually be starting to get the hang of it.
I don't have a thumbnail for it yet, but we do have a ticker, so we will be on the Oasis of the Seas again in July 26th of 2026. Leaving from Bayonne, back to basics.
Back to basics.
Bayonne, back to
Oasis.
Back to what our first group cruise was, leaving out of Bayonne.
So she didn't scare us away, guys. No. She didn't scare us away. Come with us.
So we're going back.
It's going to be a great time.
Hopefully maybe we'll get John Lackey to join us in the pub again, or in the schooner bar again. Maybe the toilets will be flushing by then. Everything will be fine.
That was a kid count. Okay, shut up. If you have kids, bring the kids, especially if they're our kids' age, because they are running the ship. They know the ship. They know all their favorite ins and outs, and they're having a great time. If you don't have kids, come hang out with us. Do as much with us or without us as you want, but it's a great time. We really, really love the ship, love this itinerary, and love the port.
Kathy Curry says 272 days, and that's got to be until Meraviglia. I didn't do the countdown for that one yet. Jason says they're very interested in Meraviglia, and you know what, Jason, we're very interested in you being interested in Meraviglia.
Meraviglia is awesome.
That group is getting
big. And it is, and because it's a great week. It's a great price.
And it includes MSC's old drink package that you can't get anymore.
This is true. I know that we're starting. I just want to talk just a real quick, a couple teasers, because one thing that I really kept meaning to hit on today that we were going to talk about is a couple of what it really was like for the 5 of us in a cabin. Ooh. So next week,
we talk about that next week.
I think we're gonna have to start it off next week with that, and talk about what was it like, especially Care Sunday, when we just all hung out in a cabin with 5 of us
and 1 bathroom.
And if you haven't, I challenge you now, because by then, by next week, I will have up my new 5-person balcony video. Hopefully the content is
good. Wait, did you say you're going to put up a new 5-person balcony video before next week?
It's like the last one. I can do that.
Ooh,
I know.
Put up a video this week.
I know. I'm getting like all kind of like brave and stuff. No, if you haven't seen our old video on a 5-person balcony cabin, it's exactly what this one looked like. Okay, so there's the bed, the Pullman. We were all
no floor.
Every night we're in there. One bathroom, one shower, and one balcony. We had a boardwalk balcony this time. So anyway, check out that video before next week, and check out my new video before next week. That's the updated version of that one. And then imagine just all of us in there on a regular day, hanging out, because we're all just like, we watched some good movies. I didn't realize I was going to like Harold and the Purple Crayon so much. And we will definitely talk about tips and tricks on how to book a 5-person balcony room if you don't know how to do it.
Easiest way?
Call us for sure. Definitely.
Or any trip for that matter, because hey, we are still in the middle of wave season, and while we always say there's no deals anymore just because cruising's so popular.
Yeah, the word deal is like,
this is the best pricing and the most value. This is the season where you're going to get the most value for your dollar, because the cruise lines are pushing the most reasonable, best sales that they're going to do. So this is the time. So if you're looking to book something, give us a shout.
I hear you. Yep, all the time. There was more than once that I think Katie crawled up in between us, and I'm like, you're like,
all right. Well,
Katie's like,
I have an early work meeting tomorrow, so
thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks for coming in, guys.
Thanks for welcoming us home.
We're glad to be home, but ready to hit our next one in 160 days.
I cannot wait. I cannot wait to shower right now and then go to sleep in my own bed. So,
good night.
CMCs.